Of all those who played important roles in the Watergate affair, no two proved more decisive than E. Howard Hunt and James McCord. Here, then, at the very beginning of our re-examination of the scandal, it will be useful to examine the careers and personalities of both men, to gain some understanding of the CIA components for which they worked, and to take note of the clandestine relationship that existed between them. Hunt was a GS-15 CIA staff officer in the late fall of 1969 when he approached a fellow alumnus of Brown University, Charles Colson, and asked if there was any possibility that he might come to work for the Nixon White House. Seated with Hunt in the White House cafeteria, Colson demurred, explaining that he himself had only just been appointed to the Nixon team and, as a newcomer, had little influence upon the White House's hiring practices. Despite this, however, Colson tells us that Hunt continued to pester him for more than a year in an effort to win a consultancy. While Howard Hunt has been thoroughly deglamorized and even trivialized by his participation in the Watergate affair, his life has been more interesting than many imagine. A war correspondent for Life magazine in 1943, he joined the Office of Strategic Services, OSS, that same year, serving in the celebrated 202 Detachment in Kunming and Shanghai, China. Demobilized at war's end, he applied for and received a Guggenheim Fellowship in 1946. With that in hand, he spent a year banging around Mexico, working on a novel, and then traveled to Hollywood to try writing screenplays. Becoming bored with that, he joined U.S. Ambassador Averell Harriman's staff as a press aide in 1948, moving to Paris as part of the Economic Cooperation Administration, ECA. Whether or not this was a cover for actual CIA employment, as journalist Tad Schultz has written, is disputed. It was while working with the ECA that Hunt met Dorothy Wetzel. Bright and attractive, Dorothy had spent the war years in Bern, Switzerland, working for the Treasury Department's Hidden Assets Division, which was responsible for tracking down concealed Nazi assets abroad. At the end of the war, she became a technical consultant on a Dick Powell film, To the Ends of the Earth, about the international narcotics trade. Shortly afterward, she went to Shanghai and, while there, wed a French marquis. The marriage did not work out, however, and she was already divorced when Hunt was paid $35,000, a fortune at the time, for the film rights to a novel that he had written, Bimini Run. Shortly thereafter, they were married. According to Hunt, it was then that he joined the CIA.